Hello and welcome back, everybody. I say good morning or good afternoon or good evening to you, depending on the time of day or night you're watching this video. This is Tech Design Teach, and this is going to be another lesson on how to design the body for a CO2 car. This is going to be a rail design, purely, meaning that the wheels are totally on the outside of your racer, and all you have is two drilled axle holes, as you can see here. Very simple. This blank is not 12 inches long. It measures 11 3/16. Kind of an odd size, but I'm going to go with it. So it is 13/16 less than 12 inches. We're going to start by making sure ortho is off. We're going to use a new command called 3-point arc. I'm going to select it. I'm going to start at this endpoint, working from the front, and I'm going to come up and I'm going to end somewhere around here. Now that automatically ends the command because 3-point arc has a start, a middle, and an end. If I click on the arc, the nodes appear and show me where I clicked. Now instead of continuing on from here, I'm going to work from the back or the opposite end and then come down to meet at the middle. And you'll understand what I mean by this very shortly. The height of the car is 2 inches at the very most. I'm going to offset a couple of lines here to show you something. This is temporary. This is 1 3/4 inches. So this is the bare minimum the height of the car can be at the rear. And so that horizontal line represents 1 3/4. This one represents 2 inches. If I wanted to see the middle of this, it would be an offset of 1 7/8. Take a measurement. Okay, so I'm going to use the middle line as a reference. So I'm going to be erasing this one, and I will erase this one soon, and other lines I don't need in here. But this is just going to be a reference for me. So I'm going to use another 3-point arc, and I'm going to start here at this endpoint, and I'm going to pick my second point to be, I guess, right here, and I want my third point to be here. Okay, now what I can do is I can actually manipulate the arc a little bit if I want. I can select it and then select it at its node, and I can bring it up like this. Now when I manipulate the arc, I want to make sure that I'm not going beyond the height of this horizontal line, because I don't have enough stock in the blank. I can't add material. I can only take material away. And also, if I wanted, I could slide this node up as well, but I need to make sure I'm not going to go, again, beyond this line right here. So something to consider. This is permissible the way it is right here, so I'm gonna leave that alone. And this line here, I don't need, so I'll erase it. Okay. Next up, we're going to blend in a tangent here. So this is a new command as well. This is found in modify. This is in the same tab drop down as fillet and chamfer, which are two commands that you learned how to use. We're going to be using blend curves. So all we have to do is select this line, and it will nicely blend this together, as you see here. Right, very sharp looking. And I can keep going. I'm going to add some more curves to this. I'm also going to add one underneath the car. I'm going to be doing a little bit of a little arc underneath here to be fancy. So I'm going to start here and end somewhere around here. I'm not actually being precise where I pick these points, right? I'm just basically doing some very good guessing, which is what you can do as well. So I've got a little arc scoop here again, and I can modify this if I want. You know, I could bring this down lower like this, and I'm happy with that. I can also add another one here. As well. And as you know, I can modify the arc as well. So here's something aerodynamic and sleek looking, all within tolerance. So now we'll take a look at the top view. We're going to be doing the same thing again. Although I'm going to be using the spline again this time. Right? So this will be more of a review of what I showed you in the previous body design video. So to find the spline command, it's under draw. It's right here. We got spline fit or spline CV. We'll try, let's see what a spline CV looks like. So I'm going to pick on one. I'm only going to be drawing on one side of the center line. I'm going to be mirroring the other side. So let's start here. Actually, no, I'll work on this end today. And I'm going to pick a point around here. Another one here. And another about here. Okay, hit enter to escape the command. All right, so we have something nicely curved here. Again, we can manipulate these vertices if I want to pick these round nodes if I'm not happy with how things look. Okay, now I'm not going to be continuing with an arc to finish this. I'm just going to bring this up a bit. I want to get this a little closer to the drilled hole. All right, that looks good to me. Okay, so what I'm going to do is actually draw a line from this endpoint and bring it to a midpoint at the center line here. Okay, so there's my top view body style. We're going to use the mirror, put the ortho back on, select all the objects, specify midpoint and then find a perpendicular spot. Erase the source, yes or no? No, because I want both sides. And here I have is my CO2 car design. Now, I have to add some things to this, but I also need to take some things away. So I'm going to be erasing this and this, and we're going to be trimming underneath this. We're also going to be trimming this part, and we're going to be trimming this. Okay. Now, because this curves and meets up with this flat horizontal line, I need to draw a line from here up. We're going to be trimming, and we're going to be putting this as a hidden line, like that. Same thing here. Highlight that arc, find this endpoint, draw a line up, trim it on both sides, and put it as a hidden line. And then lastly, because this hard angular line, if I highlight it, it ends here where this spline begins. We're going to draw a line at that endpoint, and we're going to project a line down into the car, and we're going to be trimming the axis off here. Now this line will remain as an object line, because when I look at this from the side, this, where this hard line meets this spline, is visible to me. When I look down on top of the car like this, I'm not going to notice where this arc starts and ends because it's hidden from my view. And as before, anything curved or arced does not project a line up or down between the views. We only project where arcs or lines meet a hard stop, which I've just shown. Now, this line and this line, they can erase, as well as this one. And what do I have left to do? But obviously I have to trim the hidden lines. I've got hidden lines now sitting in dead air, which is impossible now. So again, we're going to be trimming away. I just right-click my mouse, left-click, repeat trim, select the boundaries, right-click my mouse to activate, and then left-click to trim. Okay, now are we done? Not quite. These center lines are way too big now. They're only supposed to extend 1/4 inch beyond the features they're attached to, because now I've modified the thickness of the CO2 car. I have to change this. So I have to bring this down to this intersection, this up to this intersection, and so on. And now we're going to use a grip from here, and we're going to extend it 1/4 inch. Now, These center lines, because they're short, they're not showing the intermittent dash in them like they do everywhere else. So what you can do, if you want, is you can type LT scale into command line, hit enter. It shows the scale factors at 1. We can cut that in half and change it to 0.5, and that just causes the center line dashes to intermittently appear more often, and it also makes the hidden line dashes, which are equal, appear more often. And it looks sharp like this, and I recommend that you do it. One last thing I need to do is add my name to this. So I'm going to go up to annotation, hit text. I'm going to draw a little rectangle here and then type my name. And I can use the move tool to bring that down like this. Perfect. All right, so you do one last final check on this car, make sure everything is lining up appropriately as it should, making sure that all center lines are exactly 1/4 inch extended beyond all their features. I'm pretty sure all of these are. And that is how you modify your axle holes and draw another possible design for a CO2 car. Now, remember, it's your job to design your racer the way you see fit. I've given you some pretty good tactics on how to get this accomplished, but feel free to play around with some of these commands yourself, see what you can come up with. As LeVar Burton once said, you don't have to take my word for it. So let those words resonate with you, and I will talk to you later.